I've recently been involved in a number of workshops in regard to New South Wales government determining to enact a major initiative and spending, I think it's about 70 million on improving mental health in the workplace. And it just strikes me that, what is the workplace? Because I suppose a farmer is in his workplace when he's on the farm, and I am totally committed to the work that's been done in New South Wales and Victoria and Australia generally in regard to the issues of mental health in the workplace. And that's an organised place where we can have impact. The issue that's absolutely relevant is, of course, mental health or mental illness. In the alternative, doesn't start at 8 and finish at 5. And the last 20 years there have been such improvements in regard to the conversation in the community, in regard to suicide prevention, depression generally, a real discussion and conversation around anxiety, which wasn't understood as much as it is today. And you mightn't know, or some of you mightn't know, but about 10 or 12 years ago, I think 10 years ago, I was asked if I'd be an ambassador for Beyond Blue. And the reason I was asked is because of my involvement in business and various things, but also because I've had issues nearly all my life in regard to depression in particular and anxiety. And, if 100 people know me, if they were asked whether I lack in confidence, I'm pretty certain nobody would say I do. However, I have found this the most confronting thing that I have ever done in my life, and that is representing Beyond Blue, talking about depression, acknowledging my own circumstances, the most confronting thing I've ever done. And it's all because of the stigma. It's all because, I think attached to many people's view of depression is a misunderstanding or a lack of understanding and a lack of education. And, often the thought can be, get up, get going, everything will be all right. And for those poor people out there who really are engaged with depression at a serious level, it's not like that at all. 8 Australians die by suicide every day. And I just find that absolutely shocking. And when I first heard that statistic, I found it compelling in regard to being involved with Beyond Blue. And I find it compelling in the sense of getting over that, being confronted in regard to, talking about these matters. I think the best thing everybody can do is feel free to talk about it, to enable the conversation, to bring it up and for you to be calm with it and other people to see. And by doing that, you really are going to address this issue of stigma in our community, in our workplaces, frankly, even in our homes. The worst thing I could think of for me would be if one of my children, was suffering and I hadn't noticed or hadn't done anything or hadn't allowed them to be aware, or to speak up. As an Australian citizen, as a person who wants to have a wonderful society or to build on the wonderful society that we have in comparison probably to anywhere in the world, this is one of those things that we've got to improve and get rid of.